phone. Hello book besties, welcome back to my channel. My name's Emma Sue, a book lover that's always on a binge, and for today's video I will be picking out my TBR for the month of May. I haven't done a TBR since last November, so this is gonna be different for me. The reason that I had stopped doing this was because my mood reading was out of control. I never stuck to my TBR. I'm gonna do my very best to actually read the books that I end up picking. And with that, I will be using a TBR prompt. And this is supposed to be a TBR jar, but it's actually a vase. I think I'm supposed to put flowers in this. I can't be trusted to take care of real flowers, so we have TBR prompts instead. Now, usually I read about an average of 10 or more books per month, so minimum I read about 10 books. I figured why not do 5 of them from the TBR prompts themselves to help me narrow down my never-ending TBR list. The other 5 will be books I personally know that I'm gonna read, which includes new releases that are coming out this month, and I will let you guys know what those other 5 books will be after I pick the ones from these. My hand barely fits in this, so this was not a very good idea, but you know what? I'm making use of the stuff that I have, you know? It is called recycling, upcycling. Our first book will be, drum roll please. Ooh. Okay, the first one's coming strong. It says a book that's over 400 pages. Can you see that? Most of the books I already read are actually over 400 pages. But we will choose a physical copy because I need to narrow down all these books that I haven't read. So we're gonna start. I've narrowed it down to 2. Leave Me Behind and One for My Enemy. The first one is 453 pages. And this one, 425 pages. Are we feeling very ambitious? Because then I would go with the one with a couple more pages longer than this one. This is a dark romance. I believe it's set in a military, which really intrigues me. I've had this on my TBR for quite some time, so this would be a good one to read. Nell Gallows is the sole survivor of an elite Dark Forces squad riot after a detrimental attack 2 years ago. Unsurprisingly, she's being put at the top candidate for the Special Ops Team Malum, the squad that goes where no one else will or can. There's only one problem. Malum blames their one casualty from the Patagonia mission on the riot squad. Ooh, okay. This must have mentor to mentee type of relationship, and it's looking like an enemies to lovers. He's hell on earth, cruel and unforgiving, but most of all he hates her, and he makes sure she knows it. And yet she finds herself unwilling to leave his side when he's unable to get to the evac point when their mission goes awry. This one has also been in my TBR for quite some time. I'm not too sure about what this one is. I believe it's a retelling of Romeo and Juliet, which is also very intriguing. In modern day Manhattan, where we lay our scene, 2 rival witches, ooh, there's witches in this, families fight to maintain control of their respective criminal empires. On one side of the conflict are the Atanova sisters, each one beautiful, cunning, and ruthless, and their mother, the elusive supplier of premium intoxicants, known only as Baba Yaga. On the other side, the influential Fedorov brothers served their father, the crime boss known as Koshche the Deathless, whose ventures dominate the shadows of magical Manhattan. After 12 years of tenuous coexistence, one family member brutally crosses the line. Bad blood reignites old grudges. At the same time, fate intervenes with a chance encounter between enemies. In the wake of love and vengeance, everyone must choose a side. As each of the siblings struggle to take their claim, bloodshed is inevitable. The question is, whose? That seems like a crazy plot that's about to happen in that one. This is a tough decision, but I think I'm gonna go with Leave Me Behind by K.M. Moranova. Oh, my phone. Alright, on to the next one. I'm basically picking this with just 2 fingers because I can't even move the rest of my fingers. Our second book will be a book with a pink cover. We have a couple of them. This one I've already read. This was really good, by the way. Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher. 10 out of 10, can recommend. We have Wild Love by L.T. Silver at the top over here. We do have, I don't think you can see it because it's covered, but we do have the trilogy, the Once Upon a Dream? Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. I don't really feel like starting a new series because I'm in the middle of a lot. of series right now, so we're gonna have to pass on that. Unless I pull out a prompt that says to start a new series, then that could be a possibility. But needless to say, I am starting a new series, and that would be the Boys of Tommen series. Even though I literally just said I wouldn't start a new series with that one, but I am starting with this one. Where was I going with this again? Ah, pink cover, pink cover. Okay, here. Pink cover. This is the only other pink cover that I own, it seems. This is called My Dark Romeo. I've had this for a while as well. Do I know anything about it really? No. I'm guessing it might be Romeo and Juliet. I've got no clue because I'm totally just basing that off for the fact that it says Romeo at the front. It's a dark romance, I'm sure. It says, some Romeos deserve to die. Yeah. It was supposed to be a harmless kiss at a lavish debutante ball, a clandestine moment with a handsome stranger, but unlike his namesake, my Romeo isn't driven by love. He's fueled by revenge. To him, I'm a chess piece, leverage, his rivals betrothed. Scandalous. To me, he is a man deserving of poison, a dark prince I refuse to marry. He thinks I'll accept my fate, well, I plan to rewrite it. And in my story, Juliet doesn't die, but Romeo, he perishes. Okay, I'm excited to read this. Third book is gonna be about... Okay. Oh, a book by a well-known author you've never read. This is gonna be a bit tough because there are many books by an author that I haven't read. By a well-known author too. I think most of the books that I have are part of a series, so I really can't avoid not starting a series at this rate. But to avoid that, I'm gonna go with V.E. Schwab, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I bought this a while back ago during the Indigo sales, which is our bookstore here in Canada, equivalent to Barnes & Noble's in the States. This is not my usual genre. I believe this is more of a science fiction. I don't really know what it's about. Actually. Says here, France 1714. In a moment of desperation, a young woman named Adeline meets a dangerous stranger and makes a terrible mistake. It will be 300 years before she stumbles into a hidden bookstore and discovers someone who can remember her name, and suddenly everything changes again. This seems like a time adventure type of plot. Like not Back to the Future. What was that movie? Age of Adeline. That one on Netflix. I seen that and that was really good. I think it's something more like that. But in this case, she is more of the invisible character that nobody knows until one day someone does, is what I'm getting at from that little synopsis at the back. I'm intrigued about this. This is a fairly big book, actually. To be fair, the writing is fairly big and I like that because my eyes are not so good. But do I wear glasses? No. Am I prescribed them? Yes. I just don't use it. And I've heard a lot of great things about V.E. Schwab. She is a very popular author. I just never had the courage to pick up her books until now because the TBR prompt told me to, therefore I will. Maybe after reading this, I'll have more confidence and courage to read her other books as well. Our fourth prompt will be a book that's part of a series. So this means a book from a series that I'm in the middle of. I'll be picking up this bad boy. Look how fucking thick he is. This is Shadow Princess, which is the fourth book in the Zodiac Academy series. I'm doing the whole Solera universe reading order, which includes other series in this big universe basically. And I'm 2 books away from finishing The Ruthless Boys of the Zodiac. And right after that, I will be picking up Shadow Princess. So this is perfect. I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Now for our last and final book from our TBR prompt, it will be... Ooh, a classic you've never read. Okay, wait. I have a solution. This one terrifies the hell out of me. Let me say that now. It is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, and I think this very much fits the classic book saying. I believe this is in a war setting, and I hear a lot of tears come from people while reading this, and that will definitely be me. With courage, grace, and powerful insight, best-selling author Kristen Hanna captures the epic panorama of World War II and illuminates an intimate part of history seldom seen, the Women's War. The Nightingale tells the story of 2 sisters separated by years and experience, by ideals, passion, and circumstance, each embarking on her own dangerous path towards survival, love, and freedom in German-occupied, war-torn France. A heartbreakingly beautiful novel that celebrates the resilience of the human spirit and the durability of women. It is a novel for everyone, a novel for a lifetime. This will be our 5th and last book for the TBR prompts. and I'm scared to say the least. Future self, when you look back in this video, just know I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I don't know where this accent's coming from. These are the 5 books that our TBR prompts has helped us choose for the month of May. Now from the 5 books that I know I will be reading for sure. The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. It's actually a new release for May. And it is a gothic fantasy romance. I don't really know much about it, but I did love the Shepherd King duology from her. And I just know that her writing is right up my alley. I'm gonna read a synopsis of it just to see what it's really about. And it says, Sybil Delling has spent 9 years dreaming of having no dreams at all. Like the other foundling girls who traded a decade of service for a home in the great cathedral, Sybil is a diviner. Oh, so it's like oracles, I think. Like being able to tell the future. In her dreams, she receives visions from 6 unearthly figures known as omens. From them, she can predict terrible things before they occur, and lords and common folk alike travel across the kingdom of Trom's windswept moors to learn their futures by her dreams. Okay, I can be smart sometimes. I'm in the right path with that. Just as she and her sister diviners near the end of their service, a mysterious knight arrives at the cathedral. Rude, heretical, and devilishly handsome, the knight Roderick has no respect for Sybil's vision. But when Sybil's fellow diviners begin to vanish one by one, she has no choice but to seek his help in finding them. For the world outside the cathedral's cloister is wrought with peril. Only the gods have the answers she is seeking, and as much as she'd rather avoid Roderick's dark eyes and sharp tongue, only a heretic can defeat a god. That last line alone got me hooked already. When they describe the MMC to be devilishly handsome, you know it's gonna be a good time. Now the second book I'm also really excited about because this is also a new release for the month of May, and it's Rewind It Back by Liz Tomford, which is the 5th book in the Windy City series, and it's about Rio. This man has been in every book, literally. I just can't wait to get back into this world and to see it from his perspective and see how his romance journey is gonna be with Hallie. I don't think we've seen Hallie in any of the books. She's someone in his past perhaps that he doesn't really talk about. We don't really know much about Rio. We know his personality but not his past, so I'm excited to read about him. Now the third book is actually a first in the trilogy. It is Vow of Deception, which is Rena Kent's Deception trilogy. I know for sure I'm gonna eat the entire trilogy up in like less than a week anyways. It's a dark mafia romance which involves Adrian Volkov. I've seen him in the Throne duet a couple of times, and he is a character that has intrigued me even though he was just a side character. But the fact that he's very mysterious and scary sounds like my man. Now the fourth book that I'm definitely reading in the month of May is The Phoenix King by Aparna Verma. I hope I'm saying that name right. This is an author that has been popping up on my book talk like last year, and I haven't gotten around to reading her book yet, but the second one comes out soon and I really want to get to reading this one. It is a fantasy romance book, which is my type of genre. From a stunning new voice in fantasy comes an Indian-inspired, action-packed debut of fire magic and ancient prophecy. Ooh, I'm loving that already. In which the fate of a kingdom rests in the hands of a princess desperate for power and an assassin with a dark secret. The Ravani kingdom was born of a prophecy carved from unforgiving desert sands and ruled by the Ravens bloodline, those with the power to command the eternal fire. Elena Adya is the heir to the throne and the only Ravens who cannot wield her family's legendary magic. As her coronation approaches, she will do whatever it takes to prove herself a worthy successor to her revered father. She doesn't anticipate the arrival of Yasen Knight, the notorious assassin who now claims fealty to the throne. Elena's father might trust Yasen to be a member of her royal guard, but she is certain he is hiding something. I think this is a bodyguard princess trope, and I haven't read one like that before. I think I will be giving this a really good rating. I have a good feeling. Now the fifth book that I will definitely read in May is The Jazzed Heir by Sarah Hashem. I've also had this in my TBR for a long time, but the second book actually comes out sometime in July, so I figured, well, why not read it this month? Because she's a hefty one. I'm just really interested in Egyptian mythology, so this is like the perfect book for me to read about. An unmissable tale of shattered kingdoms, forbidden magic, and cunning royals unfolds in this Egyptian-inspired epic fantasy debut. Ah, this sounds so cool. 10 years ago, the kingdom of Jazad burned. Its magic was outlawed, its royal family murdered. At least that's what Sylvia wants people to believe. The heir of Jazad, Jazat, escaped the massacre, and she intends to stay hidden, especially from the armies of Nizal that continue to hurt her people. But a moment of anger changes everything when Erin, the Nizal heir, attracts a group of Jazadi rebels to her village. Sylvia accidentally reveals her magic and captures his attention. Now Sylvia is forced to make a deal with her greatest enemy, help him hunt the rebels in exchange for her life. A deadly game begins. Sylvia can't let Erin discover her identity, even as hatred shifts into something more between the heirs. And as the tides change around her, Sylvia will have to choose between the life she wants and the one she abandoned. Yo, this seems like such an adventure, and the fact that it is an epic fantasy, this is probably also another one that I will really enjoy. Those are all the books that I will definitely be reading in the month of May. There will definitely be more books that I will be reading throughout because of my mood reading. We'll see by the end of May with our monthly reading wrap up of how well we did in sticking with our TBR. Whether I'm successful in reading all of them, or maybe not so successful and only read a couple of them. I had a great time picking these books out, so I think it will be a fun adventure either way. And with that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye!